everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen, and if you're new here, I handmade kids clothes and I sell them at craft fairs all through Southern California. So today I am headed to the Carlsbad Street Fair, which I've never done before. This is my very first street fair and I'm a little bit nervous. It's down in Carlsbad, which is about like an hour and 45, 2 hours away from me, which is closer to San Diego. And so I'm going to go up on Saturday because the street fair is only one day. It's Sunday. I have no expectations. I've just heard great things about this event. So I'm going to go and see how I do. So come along with me and let's do this. Good morning, everyone. It is 4:40 in the morning and I am getting ready to go set up at the Carlsbad Street Fair. I'm super tired and I forgot my hairbrush, so I'm using my husband's beard brush. Setup starts at 5 and we're about like 8 minutes away from the part of the street that I'm on. So I don't know what to expect today. It's my first street fair and I have no expectations. So I guess let's see what happens. I will see you guys at setup. It's so dark out here and it's like, if you can see, it's windy. So this is my spot and it's got all this little like smashed fruit and I'm just not happy. But somebody's coming to clean it up, I guess. So I'm waiting. So here's a little peek of the portion of the street that I was on. People are still setting up. I was heading to the bathroom, so I thought I'd get like a little footage. So here's the booth. I'm all set up. It was a little rough because I tried to change my setup and then hated it, so I had to flip back to my normal, but we're all set up and ready to go. Good morning, everyone. So I am here at the Carlsbad Street Fair. This is a one-day event out in San Diego area, Carlsbad. It's freezing. It did rain. Not shocked because this is show number 3 where it rained. It's a little bit windy, as you can see. Like I'm kind of like, camera's moving. That's because my tent is like knocking. It started at 8. I have made my first three or four sales already, so starting out strong. Super excited. I think this is going to be a great one-day show, so I will check back in with you in a couple hours and let you know. Alrighty, so it is about 11:25 and I have sold 8 pieces of clothing and I think maybe like 5 placemats. My goal is 30 pieces of clothing today. I brought a rack, which I didn't have last time because it was raining, so I didn't bring it out. But I brought a new rack and I put kind of all my excess inventory on there, which I've had for a while. So I'm hoping that I sell a lot of that. It's moving a little bit slow and I'm getting pummeled by these little like, I don't know what they are. They look like, I don't know, it's like under a fruit tree or something like that. So it's a bit annoying, but other than that, it's going. Just ordered my lunch from Fireside Subs, so I'm kind of hungry. So I'm gonna scarf that when that gets here. But I will check in again in a couple hours. It's 2:55 and I have about an hour, it's over at 5. So 2 hours and 5 minutes left. Can't math. And it's been slow. I haven't been recording very much because my neighbor's playing music and I don't want to get copyrighted. So, yeah, I am about $77 away from my goal. So I'm hoping it's just 2 more dresses to sell. Hopefully I can do that. It's been an average day. Not really sure how I'm feeling about this market, but I will let you know. So it started pouring and we packed up early and just got out of there because the rain just was chaotic. Okay, so let's talk about the street fair. It started off kind of as you can see from my video, that my space was so nasty. It had just, I don't even know, kumquat? I think that's what it was. Just smashed all over. It was just, I was so frustrated. So I kind of had a little bit of an attitude. So my mood was not really like good, like from the beginning. So after the guy cleaned it up, like it wasn't perfect, but he did his best and that's all I could ask for. Like they tried to make it right. And I set up my stuff. I was still in an mood, so I did not record any of the setup or any of that. And then once I got everything set up and like how I liked it, then I felt good. Let's talk about my setup. So I decided to do a setup that was completely different than anything I've done. I liked it and I said, this is my setup. This is what I'm going to do. Well, I decided, oh, Jen's going to try something different because I had more space. This was like I think 10 by 12 space or something like that. So I had a little extra space. So I was going to set up completely different and have my checkout stand kind of sitting on the outside where I was looking in, but then it started sprinkling and I was like, I don't want to deal with stuff getting wet again and rain. So I took everything down, reset it up. And by then the fair had already started already. So I was a little flustered. And then people started coming into my booth, which also made me even more flustered because I was still kind of like moving things around and stuff. But it's a good problem to have. I got slammed in the beginning. People were just coming in and buying and it was really good. And then it tapered off. And it wasn't because there wasn't any foot traffic. There was a ton of foot traffic. It just, people were entering from where I was. So like I was kind of the start of where people were starting at because they'd park across the street and then they'd walk in. So people would look, but they just got there and there's like 6 blocks of this fair or something crazy like that. So they weren't committing right away. So that kind of was like, oh, that kind of sucks. But other than that, it did started to taper off and then the clouds started opening up. And it started sprinkling. And this was, the street fair went till I believe like 5. Like 4 or 5 or something like that, 5:30. And around like 2:45, 2:50, it started sprinkling. And I was like, okay. And then it got harder and harder. And then it was a full-on rain. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to deal with any more rain. I brought in my rack. My husband came and I was like, let's just go. So we start packing up. And then like a bunch of people were packing up because it just started pouring. People were leaving the fair because of course it was pouring. And then, you know, like people didn't want their stuff to get ruined. And I didn't want to lose any more inventory because I lost some inventory to rain at Jackalope. So I was like, let's get out of here. It was slow. I was frustrated. So I was like, let's just go. Okay, so let's talk numbers. Overall, despite everything that happened, the rain, the squashed fruit, the weird traffic, it was a pretty good day for me. And I feel like if it didn't rain, I feel like I would have done a lot better. So I'm definitely gonna come back and try this event again. I already signed up for fall, but let's go through and see how I did. Okay, so numbers. I did a total, and mind you, this was a one-day event. So my total for the day was $995.01. I was $4.99 away from my goal of $1,000. So despite everything, it was totally a successful market. It was like the one time that I almost made my one day goal. So I feel like I would have knocked it out of the park had it not rained. I had $875.01 in credit cards. That's in Shopify. I had $60 in cash and $60 in Venmo. So mostly everybody paid with their card. Some of my best sellers, I'll do my top 3 best sellers. Number 1 was my placemats. I did 14 placemats, 5 kitties, 5 princesses, 3 dinos, and 1 sunshine. And I can't keep them in stock. They just fly off the shelves. My second best was I did 9 dresses. And of the dresses, it was kind of a little mix. I did 2 princesses, 3 kitties, and then everything else was kind of one-off. A corgis, a flamingos, a rainbow, and a Taylor Swift. And then my third top seller was my baby knotted rompers. 3 floral and 1 ladybug. So those are my top 3. Dresses, placemats, and knotted rompers. And I'm kind of seeing a trend. I think those are my 3 top sellers. And I feel like that's how it's going to be going, for the rest of the summer season. So, was it a success? Yes, it was a success. Will I be back in the fall? You bet your bottom I will, because I feel like fall, now that I know what to expect, I'm going to knock it out of the park. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So my booth fee was $285 for the day. Plus I did, 1 night in a hotel. Did I do 1 night? Yeah, I did 1 night in a hotel. So when I go again, I'm not staying over. I just felt like it was an expense that I didn't have to incur. I could have just left early in the morning and drove straight down to Carlsbad. So won't be doing that in the fall. I say that now and then I'll probably be like, oh, I'm going to stay. But no, I think I'm just going to drive down next time, so I don't have that expense. Unless I stay with a friend. I do have a friend who lives in San Diego. But anyways, I will stop rambling. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.